If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like aloe or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. With Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts are going abandoned and way more sales happening. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Folks, back on the Bossman Show, in front of the show, rapper Howard's coach Darris Nichols with me on the Bossman Show, 10-4 on the year. Big game against Clemson coming up here on Friday. What's up, brother? Good to talk to you, man. You look good over there, my guy.
I appreciate it, man. Just staying busy, trying to keep these guys healthy. Trying to maintain the momentum we've had, especially coming off, Christmas break, um, after going to West Virginia, winning that game, and just, trying to keep getting better and better. So, our guys got back yesterday and we started practicing. So, you know how it is after Christmas. Trying to get everybody back on the same page is sometimes difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. I know I was worried about some of the guys. Some come home and then they want to play against the guys at home, or they don't work out at all. So trying to give everybody back in shape so you can jump into this thing the right way, because you got big games, Clemson, Big South right after that. So getting those guys' bodies back in shape so they're not ready to play hard as they can. They've been doing all year long already.
Yeah, and I think sometimes sometimes as a coach, you get caught up in thinking you have to practice so much, but sometimes rest is even, more important. So I was happy those guys got a few days off to kind of recover and get away from it. So, I felt, yesterday in practice, we came back and they were rejuvenated and fresh.
No doubt. Man, bro, can you believe it's been 3 years for you already, man? I was like, man, he's in year 3 already.
I can't, when you think about it, it doesn't feel like it, but the first time, we did an interview, it was crazy because I was just getting a job. And now, it's year 3. And I just remember that first year, how crazy it was getting a job, doing my press conference. And then 2 days later, my guys, went home for the summertime and I didn't see them until the end of June. And it was kind of like, okay, man, what do I do now? So, after year 1, I think we had time to kind of prepare and kind of figure out, what we really wanted to do. Because, year 1, it was getting the job late and trying to scramble and, hopping into the portal, speed dating, that's what I call it, like when you get in there late. So, it was just difficult. But now, we kind of understand what we want to do.
No doubt. And you built this thing quickly, man. 21 wins last year. So for you, coming from year 1 into year 2, getting 21 wins last year and seeing that growth in the program, they're building off that this offseason and now seeing the fruits of labor again, 10-4 in non-league play, man. So talk about your staff and your guys' commitment to what division you had for this Rapper team, for Coach Jones.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, the most important thing when I got the job was hiring the right staff. And I have guys around me that I can trust. So that was really big. Obviously my older brothers on my staff and, James Herron, Tim Pete, Jack Raboyne, Matt Smith, those guys are guys I really trust. And, year 1, I always say, we lost more than I'm used to. And you got to figure out who you can lose with. You don't want to lose, but, if you can lose with those guys and guys don't change up, keep the same mentality, come in and work every day, don't point fingers, don't say, okay, in the recruiting process, this is my guy. I think you have a chance to be successful. And that's what I have in my staff.
No doubt, man. And for you, did you see this kind of coming in the spring and summer as well, and then the fall as you got ready for this? Because I feel like, when you have success of winning, yes, the summertime is very important because if guys are getting too big-headed or they're really trusting the process and really committing to getting 1% better each day. So did you see this kind of coming in the fall, spring, and the summertime after last year's 21-win season?
Yeah. Well, it was, our summer was difficult because we had a lot of guys that, were battling injuries. And we did a foreign trip to Japan. We played with, I want to say 8 guys over there. So it was more so the younger guys that got some good experience playing over there. And I think it helped us because, we're still playing without 3 front court guys majority of this whole season. So I'm missing Josiah Harris, who, was number 3 in the country in defensive rebounding last year, averaged a double-double. TJ Neesmith's been out most of this season. And Ibu Yamazaki hadn't played at all. So, we just had to figure it out. And I think that's the biggest thing as a coach is, if we make excuses, say, okay, this guy's hurt, this guy's sick, it's going to feed throughout the rest of the team. So, the summer kind of prepared us for what we're going through right now in terms of the injuries.
No doubt. And I do feel like it's a good thing because, when guys who typically die in the rotation and get a chance to play, that shows them put that in that work on the side with the coaches on their own, because that's how you know if a guy really cares about the game basketball, man, because when the opportunity is called, you gotta play. If you want to play, be ready to play when your number's called. So I feel like your guys need to switch over in Japan, building that depth organically as well. So now when you're whole, man, you got a lot of options to go to, depending on whatever it is.
Right. And it was different because, we're playing a whole different style. We're playing FIBA rules, to throwing freshmen, into the fire, and they're playing against older guys in a whole different environment. So it was good growth for us. Guys playing in different positions. I think the biggest thing was off the court, the team building, team bonding. So I think that's helped us early on in the year non-conference.
No doubt, bro. And currently you're on a 5-game winning streak right now. So what's been the keys is these 5-game winning streak bouncing back from that loss at ODU, man, and rounding off a 5 in a row here?
I think our decisions have been better. And a lot of times people, when you say decisions, they're thinking, okay, shot selection. It's not only that, it's just, okay, not fouling, not putting teams in the bonus early, making the right reads. So I think we've done a better job of making decisions throughout the game, winning decisions. Sometimes guys, they were making their own decisions. Now I feel like we're making more winning decisions. So I think that's the big difference in the last few games.
No doubt, man. This year, they're not calling charges this year. So having your hands up to the lights pretty much, not trying to take any more charges, just be there with your hands up. That's all you can ask. No charge call no more. That's also having that game for this with following your scouts. Those little small details and intangibles that people don't really understand like we and I do, but following your scouting report, knowing if this guy's a left hand or he's a shooter or whatever he is he all right? Is he trying to get a floater? So really put this your scouts and really understanding what you're trying to tell them to do for rotation wise, making your 45 cuts, icing stuff. You had to ice it, whatever the coverage is, just knowing what you got to do. Offense, defense, end of the floor, and hustle. Make your foul shots, you win the game.
Right. And I think, the hard part about that is once you get in the conference play, everybody knows everybody's tendencies, not only the players, but other coaches know your tendencies as a coach. So, where we're headed to in conference play, the start of it is, attention to detail is even more important because, it's so much less room for error. And if you look at the end of the year, in each league, the difference between like the first place and the fourth place team is maybe a game and a half, 2 games. So, those attention details like you're talking about, they're going to be even more important here in the next few weeks.
No doubt. And you know what? I know you got some big neutral court wins as well in a road wins. So Bucknell on the road, neutral in West Virginia with Marshall, and then at West Virginia, I'm a modern man. About that mindset going on neutral court to play a tough team like that and on the road as well, and come out there with a victory, like you said, those small details we talked about, which are very important to winning. And the hidden stats we're going to see like 50 balls, all the, we throw blackouts, all those things for defense with a rebound and get out on the break. So about how important those small towns people don't really pay attention to, but really affects winning when you're on the road or on the neutral court with somebody. Yeah,
we what we like to do is, first of all, we like to teach our bench what to cheer for. Sometimes guys on the bench don't know what to cheer for.
Yes.
And by the time they get caught up, focused on talking trash to the other team instead of cheering for what we need to cheer for. So, we worked on that in practice one day. We worked on, okay, if somebody dives for a loose ball, still don't get it. That's opportunity to stand up and cheer. Things like that. And I think when you have that kind of energy, I think it's a recipe for you winning on the road. I think sometimes teams wait for something good to happen and then get energy. I think you create energy, you find a way to create energy, and then good things will happen. So that's what we try to talk about a lot when we go on the roads, especially.
No doubt. You got that right, bro. Like you said, man. And you had tough losses. James Masters playing out there, Michael Bonds, and just as good at ODU. But I learned from those close games on the road there to build out so you can win them in big side play where it counts even more. Talking about how because you and I both know you can't really simulate post games until you get one in for real. Do it in practice best you can, but it's not the real thing until you actually another color on and do it with a referee.
It's crazy because, one possession game at JMU, one possession game at ODU. We lost both of those. One possession game at Marshall, we won that one. Then, a week ago, we're at West Virginia, and I'm in a timeout, and I'm thinking, okay, man, we've been in these situations before already in non-conference. And then so I felt like we were more comfortable in those situations because we've been put in them before. We've lost some in that situation, but we won some. So I think hopefully that'll prepare us for what we can see in conference.
Bro, how cool was it for you to go back to your alma mater and win that game, man? I know you feel so good inside, man, knowing you went up there where you played that Mountaineer Country, Morgantown, and leave with that dub, man.
It was special because that's one of the places that helped me grow as a person, and then to be able to go back there and you're leading your own program at your alma mater and come out with the win, not only the win but how we won. And a lot of people think I'm talking about, okay, the game winner shot. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some of the stuff we did that we shouldn't have done, but we overcame it and we kept moving on to the next play and could have folded at times and we didn't.
No doubt, man. That was a heck of a game. I know I texted you before. It was a heck of a game. I was like, man, my man doing his thing up there. I was like, I like Josh personally, but I shout cheering for you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I like you personally. I'll cheer for you. I got some loud cheering for you, bro. I really was. I like, man, he gotta get this win on his own spot for real, man. You gotta do it. What's good about your team, man? You got 7 guys, 7 points or more averages. That balance scoring. I always worry about when the team got one guy scoring 20 or something or 19, and you got balance scoring. That means that the ball's moving. We all know the ball has energy. So it's about emphasizing balance scoring and making sure guys get involved so people stay engaged, especially the big guys who want to run and block shots, and you do the right things. They get some touches there, transition in the post a little bit there.
Yeah, I think part of that comes with those guys just playing together. And I think in this day and age, in like the transfer portal, people are always concerned about, okay, what does this team have? What do they have bringing in? What are they bringing in? I think it's more important to have good players returning. And so, for us, we have, this year we had a lot of good guys returning who have played together for, in this day and age, a year's a long time.
Oh, yes.
So, you got Kenyon Giles, DeQuan Smith, Brian Antoine, Justin Archer, DeAndre Pierce, those guys that were here with us last year, they understand each other. So I think that helps us, understanding our tendencies and moving the ball and making sure everybody gets the looks that we want.
No doubt, man. And you know what's good, man? I feel like, it's going to be a great year for you, man. You got some heck of talent on your roster. Let's talk about one guy from my best pro for me, Kyle Burns and Marietta, management and sports management. You want to be an agent, I guess. So talking about that young man from Marietta and come down here finding him, man.
I mean, he's got an unbelievable story. I mean, last year he came in and, was having a good summer working, got crazy positive energy, and then got sick and had to have emergency brain surgery, and was in the hospital for a long time. He kept fighting, and he overcame it. And now, basically he's a freshman. He's a true freshman. So what he would have went through last year, he's going through this year, in terms of understanding, okay, attention to details, scout and report defense. What's a good shot? What's not a good shot? But I think he's gonna be a really good player. He's big, he's versatile. I think his best days are ahead of him. And we went down to Atlanta and heard a lot about him. And coming from a program like Wheeler, he's used to winning. So we like to recruit a winning program. So we saw him there, played well with other good players, and we thought he was a good fit for us.
No doubt, man. I saw you working over there at Lakeport, man. You can go get you a guy from Atlanta for sure, man. You working it good, brother. You and your brother, man. So I saw it firsthand, man. And he can get it in. So tell me about this, man. I know you got a trip to Clemson play Brad Burnell and those guys, man, here on Friday. Tell me about what you seen from guys on film and before it's that challenge and matchup for you guys, man.
Man, they're super talented. You know, they can shoot it, they can pass it, they play well together. This is, you know, in my opinion, just from film, this is the best team we're going to play so far. And you know, we've been through it in terms of, you know, our non-conference opponents, and you know, I think they're really good. You know, PJ Hall, I've known him since he was in high school. I recruited him in Florida. He's a handful. You know, we scheduled a game. We was hoping he went to the NBA. He ended up coming back. But you know, they're a good team. Coach Burnell's done a really good job with this team. I got a lot of respect for him and what he's done at that program. So it's going to be a tough battle, especially, you know, coming after Christmas.
And also your conference, man, 5 of you guys in the Big South, over 500, man. You went out there and played some tough non-league games. What's about that, man, for your league, man, seeing representing you all getting big wins out there up and down the conference, man, and seeing what you guys got to go that gauntlet coming here in January, brother? I
think the league's better. You know, it's better. The coaches, you know, have done a really good job of, you know, accumulating talent and putting it together. I want to say out of 33 conferences, the Big South is 17th right now this year. So, you know, we have really good teams. We have really good coaches, so it's going to be a competitive conference.
Brother, I hope we're talking again in March, man. You're getting there, going to the big dance, man. We're going to claim it there for you, my brother. Hopefully we're talking in March about that before you go to the get-go for Sunday, man. So I'm cheering for you. He's always my brother. Good to see you late point. Like I told you, man, we're going to do this again real soon, and I'm glad to have back on the show, my guy.
I appreciate you having me, man. It's good to see you.
Yes, sir, brother. Happy New Year to you, my guy.
Yep, you too.
All right, brother. See you, man.
All right, we'll see you.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.